Hi guys, in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how you can design this type of logo. In our last class we talked about different types of logo and definition of logo. So this is a good example of monogram logo, which was one of the first type of logo we talked about. So this is a type of monogram logo. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can get this type of logo done, and you can charge your clients like 7,000, 10,000, 20,000 naira for you to get this type of logo done. So let's get started. Let's see how we can get this type of logo done. So as usual, let me cancel this. No, I don't need to save it. So as usual, before you start up any type of design, you have to create a background where you'll be making your designs. The background the page where you'll be making your designs. So now we are going to go ahead and create a page by pressing Ctrl N for this menu to pop-up menu to show, or you can go to your file, you go to new. So each of the option can give you the same thing. So as you can see, let's use 4 inches by 5 inches in this tutorial. Then resolution should be 300. I normally use 300, but remember, the higher the size of the work, the lower the resolution. Then the smaller the size of the work, the bigger the resolution, so that it will not affect your image quality. So let's click OK and get our page. So this is our page. You understand? This is our page. So for example, in the other logo I showed you, the name of the club is Rick Rock Club. So if you are to design a logo for that type of club and you want to use a monogram logo, remember a monogram is made up of letters, understand, but it's being styled out of letters, you understand. So now, as the name applies, Rick Rock, I can decide to make use of double alphabet, which is R and R, you understand, which is double R. So this time around I go to my type tool, I select my type tool. Look at it here, I select my type tool. So the next thing I'm going to do is to come to our page, then I zoom, I click. Once I click, I will see my cursor dangling. So the next thing I'm going to do is to type. Let me increase the font size so I will see what I'm doing. So as it is now, the next thing I'm going to do is to type the alphabet I'm going to be using. So I click on R, I type R, type another R. I'm going to be making use of this R, these two R, for this double R for this design. So the next thing I'm going to do is I click and mark good for it to come back to its normal form. So I mark on good so that this cursor can live here, so that I can use any other tool. So first of all, I click and mark good. As you can see, this right up now is still in a typographic form, is not in an image form. As you can see, the logo here is still showing you T, which means that it is still in a typographic form. So what we are going to do here is that we are going to change this double R, this R that is in typographic form, we're going to change it to image format. And so we are going to change this typography now to image format so that we can use it as a shape. As it is now, it is not a shape, it is a typed object, you understand. So what we are going to do for us to convert it to image so that it will look plain, so that this T logo now will live here, so that it will look plain like this background. So what we're going to do is we come here, we double click, sorry, it's not double click, you come here, you right click. Once you right click, this pop-up menu will pop out. Then you go to this retrosize type, this restrict type here, then you click on it. As you can see, it has turned to image. It is no more a type 2. If I should click on this type 2 again, it's going to create a new layer because this no more image, so I can't continue to type. This no more typography, so I can't continue to write anything here. So as I've converted it to this, the next thing I'm going to do is, let me remove this. So the next thing I'm going to do is, let me expand it so I will see the size of what I'm doing. I hold my shift, I click here first, hold my shift, then drag to expand. Make sure you're holding your shift anytime you want to expand. Bear that in your mind. So I double click or I mark good. So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'll use this rectangular marquee tool to separate this one from this one, to separate this first R from this second R. So watch what I'm going to do now. So I click here, I drag down. As you can see, this line is still touching this second R, so I use my arrow key. If you check your keyboard, you see 4 arrows. I use the one that is facing my right hand side to move this rectangular shape. And once I move it this side, next I'm going to do is I right click inside. Remember, right click, I said right click. If you right click, this pop-up menu will show. Then you click on cut, layer via cut. That is to divide the layer into two, so that this one will be, this R will be on its own. As you can see, two of them are in the same layer, but if I do layer via cut, it means I'm cutting out this one from this layer, whereby this one will be on a different layer and this one will also be on a different layer. So I click on cut via layer. You understand? As you can see, the layer is duplicated, so presently now I can move one and I can move one. But let me come back because that is not what I want to do. So I click on Control Alt Z, Control Alt Z. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I want to face this R to my left hand side, so that the back of this R will touch the back of this R. So I click, first of all, I click on this line. Once I click on this line, that circular and good shape will show here, telling you that it is not in its original form. So I click here. As you can see, the two icon I'm telling you has gone out. So the next thing I'm going to do is I come inside, I right click. Practice this in your system. Is very simple. I right click and click on flip horizontal, not vertical this time around. Flip horizontal. As you can see, this R is now facing my left hand side. So what I'm going to do is either I use my arrow key and move. I might decide to leave this logo like this, say fine, or let me just join two of them. I'll move it to two of them joins together. Do you understand? So I will move it to two of them join together. Then remember, this is the image. Then I mark good. This time around I mark good. You understand? So see the shape we have created with double R. The next thing I'm going to do is I'll use this rectangular marquee tool again. Come here. I want to divide this, so I want to create a line at the center. So what I'm going to do is I use this rectangular marquee tool. I come here, I left click and drag down for me to create a shape. Left click and drag down, just make a thin line. Then I move it to be at the center of the double R. Then I'm going to click on this first layer and delete them, so that it will delete this part of the R. Then click on this layer again, delete, so that it will delete this part of R. So let's go. The first layer I click, I delete. You understand? Then I click on the second layer, I press delete again. As you can see, I've deleted the part of this R and this part of this R. So hereby I've created a thin line between the double R. So the next thing I'm gonna do here is I would like to style it. Remember, monogram is always different from you use letters to form a monogram logo. That doesn't mean it should be the logo exactly. So what I'm going to do is I click here. What I'm going to do is I click here. I click here with this polygonal lasso tool. Then I bring it up like this. I click, I raise it up again. I click, I bring it down. I click. So this time around, if I delete, remember anything I delete here, I will still delete here. Do you understand? So I click on this one, I delete. Click on this one, I delete. You have seen the shape I created. So I'll still like to delete again from here. So I click on this one, this first one I delete. I click on this down one, I delete. Then I go up again. I still want to delete on top. This is just to make the shape to look fine. So what I'm gonna do here is that I click here, I delete. I click here, I delete. So as you can see, then I deselect by pressing Ctrl D to deselect. So as you can see, this time around we have made a nice shape for a club, and this is fine. This is fine. Even if you don't like it, I like it. It's my work. I'm not doing it for my clients. I'm just doing it for tutorial purpose. So this is fine to be a monogram logo. So but I'm not finished because I still need to write the title of the logo. So now the next thing I'm going to do here is, if I may look at this, you know that is double R, R and R. So but you will now target what should actually be the meaning of this double R. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to group these two layers so that I will not mismove one from one. Do you understand? So the next thing I'm going to do is to group it. So I click here, click on this one, hold my control this thing, like I highlight this first one by clicking on it, then I hold my control key, click on this one to highlight the two. Then is either I press Ctrl G, that is G for group, to group it, or the next, or what I'm going to do is I right click on this layer, click on group from layer. You understand? So I can rename it. I can give the group name as RR. Okay, let me use capital letter RR. So I click OK. Now I've grouped the two. So any movement to this one will cause a respective movement to this one too. So if I should decide to remove this R, the second R will still move with it, because two of them are in the same group. They are in the same folder, just like you and somebody is inside one car. Once the car is moving, you and the person are supposed to move together. So now the next thing we are going to do here is to write the title of the logo. So now we click here, click on our type tool, then bring it here, then click inside for us to write the title of the logo. So I would like to reduce my font size. Then let's type. They said the name is Rick Rock Club. Rick Rock Club. Awesome. So now I click on that good, then I click on move to for me to move, and I hold my shift. Remember to hold your shift. Do you understand? Remember to hold your shift anytime you want to move your logo or any image in Photoshop. So is either you press enter for you to remove this thing, for you to come back to its original shape. Is that you mark this good or click enter. So I click here. And the next thing I'm gonna do now is, I think we are almost done. The next thing I'm gonna do now is to add colors. So in this particular designer, I'm going to be making use of gradient colors. I'm going to be mixing color in form of gold, and I can only achieve that when I'm making use of gradient color. Do you understand? So now, first of all, I have to save. You understand? So let me just save by pressing Ctrl S. So let me save inside this monogram logo. Let me rename it RR. And first of all, I'll save the Photoshop file. Then the second one I will save as RR. Then the next thing is to save as JPEG, because your system will not be able to view your Photoshop file except you bring it into Photoshop or any other graphic software that is related to Photoshop. So I save as JPEG so that I will be able to view my work. So there's another thing that is very, very important, and I needed to tell you in last class, but I forgot. So there's what you call logo transparency. As you can see, let me show you something that you don't know. Look at the work we just saved. Look at the work we just saved, this RR. As this work is now, as you can see, this work has a white background, but there is a way to save a work without background. That is what we call, there's a way to save logo without background. You understand? And it will not be in Photoshop format. That is what we call logo transparency. Like after designing a logo for your client, if you send a JPEG file for he or she, then try and also send the logo transparency. The logo transparency is the main logo itself. There are some certain things you cannot do with a JPEG file logo, but with logo transparency you can do anything you want to do with it. So this time around, for us to save this file in a logo transparency, that should be a PNG file. PNG is the transparency I'm telling you. So I would like to save this logo so that this logo will not have background. Anytime if I import it in any software at all, it will not have background. You understand? So what I will need to do is to just come here that this background icon is, then I click. As you can see, the background has gone out. You understand? So I press Ctrl Shift S for me to have this pop-up menu, or I click on File, click on Save As, then I click on this Save As Type, then I click on PNG file. So if I should save, let me say RRPNG. So if I should save this file now anywhere, if I import it in Photoshop or CorelDRAW or any software, even if it's video editing software that I want to add this logo to the video editing, if I upload it like this in the video editing software, it will not have background. So that is the benefit of logo transparency. So now the next thing we are going to do is, let's cancel this. Let's save in Photoshop file, Ctrl S, then let's cancel this. And the next thing I'm going to do now is to import the PNG file, so I'll be able to add a gradient color to it. So I minimize, cancel. So this is the PNG file, this one is the PNG file, so I have to drag this to Photoshop and open it. As you can see, as we imported this thing, there is no background with it, and there is no layer again. It's only the image that you can see, the logo we created. So this time around, what I'm going to do is I go to Effects. Let's quickly add the colors that we need. I go to Effects, Okay, first of all, okay, I go to effect, click on gradient overlay. So look at the gradient color here. So I'm going to be changing this black and white gradient color to the desirable color that will make it to gold. I told you, for you to get gold, you have to mix brown with yellow to get gold. Gold also has a code. You can browse about the code for golden color. So you click here. First of all, I will be adding color to this one. So I'll drag this in. For me to get brownie color, I'll come here. As you can see brownie color here. Then I'll come here and click. I've gotten what I want. Let me make a darker. It's okay. And I click OK. Then this second bucket here that is white, I'll still have to fill it with a yellowish or brownish color that is to form a golden color for me. So what I'm going to do is I click on it. I come here and pick color 2, and I click OK. I click OK. And I decide to add contour. Or anything I want to do, any other effect I want to do, but the main thing here is the color. So I click OK. Do you understand? I click OK. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I create a solid color. Let's create a background color. Let's make it dark so we can see our design. Then I click solid color. I'll choose dark background. So I click OK. Next thing I'm going to do is to drag this layer down so that this our logo will be at the top, so we'll be able to see what we are doing. So I have to drag down. As you can see the logo we designed. It's very, very beautiful and nice. This is a good logo. This is nice. I love the work. As you can see, we did everything from scratch. And you saw how we created everything. We didn't do any magic. So in our next class, we talking about how to create other logos. I'm still going to teach you how to do logo manipulation. Maybe you saw this logo and you want to use it to design another logo. Do you understand? You can manipulate one logo and add to another logo to get one logo. You understand? So I'll still teach you how to. That is when we'll be making use of type 2. So guys, you can go ahead and make logos for your clients. Charge them well. Charge them 3,000 naira, 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira, 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira for you to make a logo for a company, depending on the type of people you are dealing with. You understand? So thank you very much. See you in the next class. If this class was so useful to you, please hit my subscription button and ring the notification bell to motivate me to create more content for you. So thank you guys. See you in the next class.